Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is Hamper Kliman, your tutor, and I've brought to you a physics question under kinematics, which happens to be in your tutorial sheet 3, and hope you'll be able to learn something. So, to those of you that have a question, you can just inbox me on this WhatsApp line and I'll be able to respond to you. And to those of you that have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe and you follow it so that you can be updated on any video that I will make. So I think in my previous video, I showed how to solve this question, and in my next video I'll be able to show you how to solve this same question, but this time around using a distance a speed time graph diagram. Okay, so we have another interesting question today. This one, it is saying a tennis player, okay, a tennis player. Okay, so it is saying that a tennis player moves in a straight line path as shown in the figure P2.8. Find her average velocity in the time intervals from A, we have been told that this is from 0 to 1 second. B, this is from 0 to 4 seconds. C, this is from 1 to 5 seconds. Okay, so now when you look at the diagram well drawn, you'll be able to figure out the speed of this particular individual at each particular period of time. So now, solution. We can start with the first question. A. Okay. Now, they are saying from 0 to 1 second. Now, from 0 to 1 second, we know that we are starting from here. 1 second. This is a 1 second. And then the distance traveled is from here up to here. This is the displacement. So now, we know that velocity is equal to the change in some displacement final minus the change in some displacement initial, like this, over some time final minus some time initial. Therefore, V is going to equal to, what was the final displacement? It was 4 meters minus 0 meters over, what was the final time? It was 1 minus 0. Therefore, our speed, average speed is going to be a 4 over 1, like this. Therefore, we are going to have a 4.0 meters per second for the first question, like this. Okay. For the second question, which happens to be B, they are saying from 0 to 4 seconds. Okay, so we go to the diagram. Now, they are saying from 0 to 4 seconds. So we are moving from here, then we are going to move upward like this. Okay, so we have moved a distance of 4 meters. Then we move downwards like this. We reach at this point. We know that we've not covered any displacement because this is 0. Then we move to this distance. Then we know that since we're moving downwards, we have covered a negative 2 meters. Now, we know that as we move to this particular side, we know that here the speed is constant, so we are not considering anything. Okay? So meaning the distance that has been moved from here up to where 4 is simply negative 2. Because we are only considering from here to here. That's all. We can't consider this distance because this is 0 here. This is constant. It's not you can't consider this one. Therefore, we use the same formula. V is equal to some x final minus some x initial over some time final minus some time initial. V is equal to, okay, now what was the final distance? It was simply -2 meters minus 0, which happened to be the initial, over, now we have been told that since we are moving from 0 to 4 seconds, so our final time was 4 minus 0. Therefore, our displacement, our speed is going to be -2 over 4. Therefore, our average speed will be negative 0.5 meters per second, like this. Okay, it's quite simple. Okay, because see, we know that this is 1, this is 2, so this is just half. We go to C. Okay, this is very simple. Just follow me well, you'll be able to grab the concept. It is saying from 1 to 5 seconds. Now, we know that if we start from 0, remember this is the displacement, some distance from the initial point to some final point. That is just displacement, right? But we are moving from 0. We move to this particular point. This is 4 meters. We move to this particular point. Okay? But then check what the question is saying. It's saying from 1 to 5 seconds. So we are starting from this time. So we'll consider this time and this position. So we'll consider this point as our initial position, moving in this direction. So since we are moving downwards, we'll say this is simply -4. Okay? So from here to here, this is -4. And then from here to here, this is -6. From here to here, we are not considering anything. But from here to here, we know that this is a +2. Okay? Meaning, we use the same formula. We'll say V is equal to some displacement final minus some displacement initial over some time final minus some time initial. Velocity is going to equal to, now what was the final distance from here up to this point? The distance that was covered was simply -6 meters. Then since we moved also up to upward this distance, we moved upward this distance like this. Okay, since we moved upward this distance, we'll also consider this 2 because we are moving in the positive direction. Therefore, we are going to add a +2 meters here. Now, what was the final time? The final time was 5 minus 1. Therefore, our velocity is going to equal to -6 meters plus 2 meters. This is going to be -4 meters over 4 seconds. And finally, our average speed is going to equal to -1.0 meters per second. Okay, so this is how you solve this particular simple question. So it's very simple. You just have to follow it. You just have to follow the concepts that are used. You don't even need a calculator because the calculations are so simple. Okay, so now make sure that you subscribe, as I'll be bringing you more kinematic questions in physics, and make sure that you also hit the like button and share to others. So those of you that really are faithful, you are learning from me, make sure that you inbox me on this WhatsApp line and I'll be able to attend to you. So I've given you this question here. I want you to find the average speed from 0 to 5 seconds. Make sure that you inbox me this answer and I will be able to give you the response that you need. Thank you so much.